Welcome back, all you Minties, to another edition of Was It Really That Bad? Here with Amazing Amanda and the Uncanny Omar. And just want to thank everyone for giving us the chance to watch 2003's Daredevil today
Are you
for
really
our review.
thanking people? How much wine have you had to drink? Are you thanking people for giving us a chance to
Enough
watch?
wine to get through Daredevil.
That is a big bottle of wine. So,
It is a
what's
big bottle of wine.
how is the chat doing? I'm gonna
Yes, how is
open up
everyone
my beer.
doing? And it is Mark Stephen Johnson.
What's Mark
I
Steven
see
Johnson?
the director. I was
Oh,
just getting while I was thinking about it. Yes, Jack. Hopefully, my summary for this movie won't be as long, but we'll find out.
sometimes it feels like
Hello,
I'm watching
Freddie.
the movie all over again.
I won't let you do that this time. I promise.
I'm good.
Yes. So obviously today we're doing Daredevil, starring Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner, Jon Favreau. Forgot he was in this. And Michael Clark Duncan. May he rest in peace.
The
And
Tony Soprano Jr. from The
Tony
Sopranos. I forgot he was the bully. And let's not forget the
Colin
main
Farrell.
star. Oh
Oh,
God,
is that
no.
who we're talking about?
No, the
Colin
main
Farrell.
star of the movie,
Joe
the
Palladino.
the soundtrack.
Yes, this movie is definitely a movie of its time.
What's up, Psycho Seb?
Hey,
Uh,
Psycho Sam.
okay, so
Okay,
let's
yes.
let's
It is
let's,
a
let's
movie of its time, 2003. Came out on Valentine's Day, actually. Um,
really.
yes, yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah. I
Who
remember my first boyfriend taking me to see 8 Mile. I think I still made the right call on seeing that over this.
I mean, my favorite comic character? This movie hurt my soul.
Yes, Evanescence did jump out. That's what I'm excited to talk about all of this because this was, a soundtrack of my youth, high school for me. So a lot of defining music, and this is
I was like,
this
where are you going with this?
don't know.
A
This
lot of the did
To be
you
fair,
dress up?
Hoobastank was also on a Spider-Man soundtrack. I
Movie
just
had a garbage soundtrack. Who was thinking Evanescence? Did it have Nickelback? No, that was Spider-Man
No.
2. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 and no, Spider-Man 1 had Nickelback. Spider-Man 2 had Maroon 5, Yellow Card, Train, Dashboard Confessionals. Don't even get me started.
I
Spider-Man
know.
2 soundtrack. I
Oh
know we're not.
man.
This is not this, but that is my favorite. Breaking Benjamin was on it. Perfect Circle. It is one of my favorite soundtracks. Like,
Yeah. She's
you
not even talking about the movie
know,
yet.
the
She's
movie.
talking about her youth.
Well, because you started on Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. I have to defend
I
it.
literally asked Nickelback, and you went on a tangent about
I
how.
did.
Okay,
Well, I just wanted to correct you about they were the first one.
I stand corrected. Thank you. Let's
Yeah.
talk about
Let's talk
Daredevil.
about Daredevil. Yes. So
What?
obviously,
No, no.
Hanky Pym.
You're
So
already
this
off.
movie is basically Daredevil's origin story. Set in our Hell's Kitchen. Starts off with
Not, not my Hell's Kitchen.
a Hell's Kitchen where a bunch of bikers live.
By the way,
Who
before we
love
get
hard rock.
before we get started, what's up, Lionheart and Donald?
Hey, Lionheart.
One thing I was going to say is we did watch the director's cut, basically because it was cheaper to rent than the regular
Yeah,
cut.
we.
And
Yeah,
I've only seen the movie one time when I went in the theater to go see it.
so
And a
what
friend,
we're reviewing this time is the director's cut, even though I said yesterday we weren't going to do that. Psych.
yeah, surprise.
Life
Wide
has
surprise.
its challenges. This is one of ours. So, starts out with a flashback of a young Matt Murdock and his father, who is boxer, also known as the Devil.
Madeline
And
Jack.
yes, and Matt, of course, is bullied. He ends up getting in an accident that causes him to go blind, but it increases all of his senses. So we see a cool little montage of him learning his powers as a young child, and also see his dad doing some dirty stuff on the side, working for Fallon.
Thank you, El
Thank
Torito
you, El
Films.
Torito.
Hey guys, let you
For that
know
super
this
chat.
movie is bad. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways,
Yep, it's your show.
so
What do you think?
so he's working for Fallon. He ends up getting killed by Fallon's guys, which one of them is a young kingpin, apparently, because he decides to not throw a fight because he doesn't want to let his son down. So, of course, this leads Matt to grow up to become a defense attorney and fight for people who can't fight for themselves. But when justice is not served during the day, he'll come along and serve it at night.
What? No! Like, I did not get that at all. Like, his dad was like, don't fight. Don't fight, Matt. And Matt was like, okay. And then as he's holding his...
We could talk about all that in our review. Well, I've got all that stuff about the whole intro because I have issues with how the narration of this film is. Okay. So, of course, we see him with Foggy Nelson, played by Jon Favreau.
Sorry, Ben.
Trying to fight for justice. Quesada is their first, I guess, victim of Daredevil, but he basically gets off of some rape charges. So Daredevil decides to fight him in a maxed out club of biker guys and to serve some justice. So in between that, we also have Kingpin trying to rule his empire. There is another gentleman by the name of Mr. Nachos who wants to sell him all of his things so he can get out of the business with him. So I find it really weird that he doesn't want to let him go. Like, he's giving him all his money, but that's fine.
I thought I couldn't talk about the whole...
No, you're right. I just sidetracked. Okay, you're right. And
stay on target.
Obviously, we have established that Kingpin is now in charge, right, in Hell's Kitchen. And you have Matt and Foggy getting a new client, played by Coolio. For those of you who aren't familiar with their 90s rappers, he apparently killed a prostitute, but he doesn't remember anything that happened because he was high, and he doesn't believe he killed her, and he says he has not killed her, and he has an alibi, but the cop on trial saying that he did, and Matt can't seem to find that he's lying. So now he's kind of confused, trying to seek justice for his client, and in the meantime, he meets Elektra at a coffee shop. They get into a little tussle on a playground.
He smells Elektra, okay?
Huh? He smells Elektra. See, yeah, he doesn't see. Sorry, guys, if I get my verbs mixed up in this. I understand that he is blind, but he sees with his sight, his sound, and his nose. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what happened. That's probably what happened to Ben Affleck, right? I mean,
okay.
Gave me time to mourn that relationship, so there we go.
This movie?
Yeah, because I thought, man, it's such a shame they separated, and he has some problems. Okay, anyways,
I got you. Let me do this part. I got this part. You go ahead and sip. So, Kingpin is not having Nachos just leave. He sends Bullseye to go and kill him, and successfully he does. And at first, Elektra blames Daredevil because it was his billy club.
He used his billy club to kill him. Yeah.
Whatever. Miscommunication. She realizes Daredevil's not that bad because, it's the blind guy that I fought in the park.
Well, they have a little bit, but in the director's cut, they have more than just in the park. They have some scenes together, and the rain scene where they fall more madly in love with each other because he can see her fully in the rain. That whole thing, and yeah, so
more stimulus.
My God.
My God. So yeah, and then Elektra goes after Bullseye.
Bullseye goes after both of them, so she decides to fight him. Of course, she ends up getting killed. Right? She gets killed because she was trying to catch her own sigh. It's like right in her hand.
And then he stabs her. Matt goes crazy and realizes he's not that good of a fighter. Manages to push Bullseye off a window.
Yes.
And then he goes after
that coming.
He goes after the real villain. He goes after Kingpin. And he beats Kingpin up. Actually, no, he does a bad job. He gets beat up. And then
gets beat up pretty bad.
And then the Kingpin's like, and then it starts. But apparently, Daredevil in the movie can only see when it's raining because he has sonar.
Yeah, his little sonar, yeah. But he keeps
What?
getting his sonar messed up because of loud sounds. We get a glimpse of that, which I mean, I guess in the comics is a thing too, but
Yeah,
they
no,
play
his
it up here.
power is so confusing in the movie. So,
Yeah.
and then, yeah, he gets in a tussle with Kingpin. He beats Kingpin and exposes him for who he is. He has a little, quick
He has
little
Ben
thing with
Ulrich, a journalist on the side, who they kind of work together
Ben
to
Urich. Yep.
solve his case, to solve the case of Coolio. So Coolio gets off of his murder charge. Kingpin's outed, but we also get a Kevin Smith cameo. Plays a coroner in it
As Jack Kirby.
as Jack Kirby.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I was like,
god, I
great.
never wanted to pull my fuck like just I get it. I read comic books.
Pandering. Yes.
Please quit
Super
throwing
pandering.
Easter eggs in there of all these creators like
Yes.
Bendis and David Mack and Frank Miller. I get it.
Yes. So, and I love that Omar was able to skip. So what I love about Bullseye's story is because I'd actually watched the timer as I was watching the movie. For the first hour and 20 minutes, Bullseye's story is literally him just traveling from, I guess, Ireland to the United States to do this hitman job. That's like really the whole thing.
Oh, really?
And then, yeah, I was watching the timer, like an hour and 20 minutes of the movie. I mean, again, the first 20 minutes is of him growing up, right? So really maybe 40 minutes of the movie is Bullseye coming to America. But when he like chokes the lady with the peanut on the plane, kills that guy in his bar, goes through security at the airport, just
All
normal things that normal people do.
Let's break it down because I think this movie so that's pretty much it. That's where Daredevil ends.
Yes.
By the way, The Case of Coolio sounds like a much better movie. This is regarded as one of the worst superhero movies ever.
Yes, it has a 42 Metacritic score, 5.3 on IMDb, 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. So worse, I think, that we have reviewed so far.
Was it really that bad? So let's talk about the things that we liked.
Sure.
All right.
Michael Clark Duncan.
I disagree, but go ahead.
Okay.
It's okay. You can
I like him as the Kingpin for what this movie wanted Kingpin to be. I think that
what was that? I did not get
this. Okay, this is for me. I believe this movie is made for a very specific type of person or group of people.
People that watch MTV, The Real World, and Road Rules.
People who are into motorcycles and hard rock and love the violence and like that. This movie and Michael Clark Duncan is a great, great at playing that thuggish Kingpin is what they wanted. Savvy businessman. He's no Vincent D'Onofrio. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. But for the movie in which we are set this in, Michael Clark Duncan is a great actor. There's no denying that.
No, he is, but I just didn't understand what he was supposed to be. The entire time he was smoking a cigar and laughing. Like, he was over the top. I get it. You're a bad guy.
What they wanted for this movie.
Based on your soundtrack, literally they could have gotten anybody to play that role. Like, there was nothing.
He's so menacing, though, because of his large stature. So it makes.
Have you not seen The Green Mile? That man is a godsend.
But I've also seen other movies with him in it, so I know that he can.
Okay, yes. Besides Sin City, Michael Clark Duncan is a sweetheart. No way. I did not believe him as the Kingpin. But yes, may he rest in peace.
Yes.
So that was one thing you liked. Anything else that you like?
That's what I'm trying to think about.
I love that.
I like the Evanescence song "Immortal," not how it's used in the. I like "Immortal," not how it's used in.
I'm choking on my beer.
I know, not how it's used in the movie, but I like that song.
Which one's
by itself?
The Immortal song.
It's the slow song they play after
at the funeral. No, Amanda, no.
I like the song. I don't like it.
I didn't ask I didn't ask what songs you liked. I asked what you liked about the movie.
What I liked for the movie. I liked that song. That's not the placement, just the song in general. If I was happening to be on Spotify listening to my 2000s hard rock playlist, if that came on, I wouldn't be upset. But I don't like it in the movie the way it's played.
That's like I enjoy Jennifer Gardner's looking
Colin
like
Farrell
she's sucking on a lemon the entire time face.
Chris Angel of Assassins in this movie, the way he flits her. I don't know. I didn't like a lot about this movie, Omar. I'm trying. What do you want me to say?
No,
I really wanted to like it on second watch because I love I thought Ben Affleck's Batman.
I'm locking off now because of Amanda's
Don't Rick Nelson. I also love Fallout Boy. Wait, people might not like that either. And NSYNC. No, I'm digging a grave.
You're digging your own grave here. You're digging your grave.
Get deeper.
And unsubscribing. Wow.
Damn. Rick, we all have different tastes of music.
Are we not going to talk about Rob Zombie screaming Daredevil during the cart?
Yeah. We're going to talk about the music because I want to talk about the music. Okay, so I wanted to like.
Okay,
more.
so far Amanda liked Michael Clark Duncan. She likes Evanescence, not because of the movie, just because she likes Evanescence. I'm trying to think. What did I like about this movie?
Matthew said he canceled his Patreon because of my taste of music. You guys,
you guys are so harsh.
I mean,
so harsh.
It's.
What did I like about this movie? I feel like this movie.
Like? Here, let me look at my notes. I wrote 3 pages of notes, guys, on this movie. So
she was ready.
I mean, I'm trying to see. I wrote like 3 pages of notes. I'm trying to look through them. Let's see.
Oh, geez.
Okay, the plot. Okay, so I know the
original. If I heard "I'm Not the Bad Guy" one more time in that damn movie, and that was the end of the
Man
movie.
Without Fear. Another thing they talked about a lot. I could go on quotes because I have a problem with how the movie develops Daredevil as the character itself.
Favreau was a cool Foggy.
Yeah, but
he was happy.
Is it Eldrick? Is that the guy's name who plays it on the current?
Oh, yes, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just agreeing with you because you're usually right out of when you talk about those things.
Except when I kept messing up my Bettys in the last one. No one let me forget that.
To be fair, I messed up Tom Brady and Tom Hardy, so
True.
Whatever. And I wasn't even drunk that day. I feel like this Foggy was like his version of Happy, but maybe
it is. Yes. Oh my god! I was like, wow, Jon Favreau's playing the same character he plays in Iron Man or Spider-Man.
But really, it's Jon Favreau. So like, he's used to playing just one kind of character. Look, I'm happy making tacos out of a food truck. It's the same guy. That,
Hey, I like that. I like that movie.
I like
Chef's
that
a good
movie. Too. I like that movie too.
Don't say anything bad about Chef.
My boy Herminio Reyes.
Amanda,
I enjoyed the music.
Good job. Good.
Good job agreeing with her.
Thank you. Oh, and I didn't know I forgot Ellen Pompeo played Karen Page. Yeah. Cool. She's from Grey's Anatomy. She plays Meredith Grey, the main character.
Okay. If you watch the director's cut, there's a little more Foggy in it with that other girl.
It is a lot more Foggy in it, and the Coolio story. In the director's cut gets more, and I think that helps flesh that part, because we watched the director's cut, helps flesh out more of the characters' relationships, like between Matt Murdock and Foggy, Ben Urich, for example, and what he has to do with this whole story in general. So I think that makes it a little bit stronger than the original theatrical cut.
I'm really trying to think of what I liked about the movie. I will say I like the fighting. The choreography wasn't bad.
Yeah, the choreography wasn't bad either.
The problem was on the editing floor. I guess they were trying to give you a sense of what Matt Murdock hears whenever there's fighting. So the sounds are so off. Like literally, like you hear, like especially in the bar scenes or when he was fighting what's his face? Bullseye.
Yeah.
Like it just there's some sounds that don't make any sense. But
yeah, my internet might have gone wonky, Sean.
The guy that plays Ben Urich in the show, Von D. Curtis Hall, regularly shows up at a restaurant close where I live.
Oh, that's cool.
That is awesome.
Did you guys hear that Disney let go the showrunner or the showrunner for Punisher? Finally, they took him off contract. So
did we think we were going to get another season? I mean, it would have been nice.
No, but I guess if they have to cut weight, they're going to start with that stuff. So anyways, not to do with anything about this, but did you guys know that? So let's talk about Ben Ben Affleck's hair. No, I'm just kidding, because I get this, how messy it was when he was Matt Murdock, and then it's all slicked back. I was like, is this like a change in personality?
Let's talk about, there's a reason why when they announced that they were looking for a new Batman to replace Christian Bale, there were a list of 5 people that I'm like, no,
Ben
this is
Affleck
not.
was one of them?
Ben Affleck was one of them, mainly because of this movie. Now, God bless him, because his Batman was actually not the worst thing that happened.
No,
in
it
that movie.
wasn't.
It actually was one of the best things about those movies. But
yes,
I don't know who his acting coach was. I don't know if he did any character studies, but his idea of a blind man is a lot different than most people's.
Yes.
Like, I feel like he was he's just rolling his eyes. Like, I get the whole Stevie Wonder bobblehead thing, but I don't think there was any direction in that movie for him to do anything. And I feel like, yeah, he's partly at fault because his performance was just so over the top.
I mean, the director, which is Mark Steven Johnson, to be fair, he had a bad string of movies. This
before or after this?
After this. He actually, when I looked him up, he doesn't have a lot of credits to his name. He has this. He was an executive producer on Elektra, was not reviewed well. Then he was the director of Ghost Rider.
Oh, geez. That's going to be something we watch.
Director and then executive producer on Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. So I was like, this guy should not make another superhero movie, maybe ever. Yes, Jack Pierre actually, and I think maybe it was, but Ben Affleck needed some work on acting.
Ben Affleck had a stereotypical role that he played back then, and it was always the jackass from Mallrats or the guy from what's it called? The oh god, I can't think of it now. But the high school movie in the 70s.
High school movie? You mean like John Travolta?
No, the high school movie, Amanda.
What high school movie?
The one that came out in 1997, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
70s?
It was set in the 70s.
I don't remember.
Dazed and Confused. That's it.
Dazed and Confused. Oh, this was during J-Lo. They were still together. No. Yes. Were they still together?
I don't know. That was the least of mine. Thank you,
Maybe
Larry.
They had just broken up, or they were about to break up. Because 2001 was the whole J-Lo.
No, thank you, Clark Nato. Without Americans.
So, yeah, Ben Affleck's performance was not great in this film. I wish Jack Pierre's trying to roll me up now.
Oh, is that it? Is that it? My man.
I don't know how I felt about Jennifer Garner as Elektra. You know, being Greek and all. She's a gorgeous woman. And, you know, I love her in 13 Going on 30. And I don't know how I felt about her as Elektra. But she's damn could she fight. I mean, yes. She is a...
She was okay. I remember watching this movie at the movie theater, and my friends and I we were getting in a fight with another group of people. So I remember somebody yelling, "Hey, that's the best part of the movie!" When we were about to fight these other dudes. It was, and all I remember out of this movie was, I wish that this was an Elektra movie, because Jennifer Gardner, sure, I could see that. Damn it, I got my wish a couple of years later.
Yeah,
That was pretty bad, too.
I don't know how I feel about her being Elektra. I was not blown away by it second time around, except for her fight scenes. And yes, she looks great in a dress and her outfit. So, as far as the movie's concerned,
that's how we did, man. Punks were talking shit about. Anyway,
the romance to me was extremely hokey.
And it took up half of the movie.
It took up half of the movie in the original cut. Now, granted, the director's cut, we got more of the violent action scenes and stuff, which is great, but it still had a lot of the hokey romance. And guys, you're talking to me. I love a good romantic comedy. Don't get me wrong. Hitch, First Dates.
She loves bad romantic comedies too.
No. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I love a good romantic comedy. But this romance, I just did not like how it was set up, how it progressed so quickly. I thought it was corny. I did not enjoy it at all. I could have been fine if it was all cut from the movie and he had no motivation with her at all. If they just left her out of it and it was him just fighting for Coolio and his
If he was just fighting for, that might be my favorite line that you've said. Can we talk about the park scene? Can we talk about how he came in?
That was awful. Watching it again, I was like, they meet each other for 5 minutes and they get in a fight?
No. The best part is he chased her down like a creep. He chased. Okay, first of all, that park scene is based on Bendis's Daredevil and Echo fight scene, which happened in the comics, which was a little goofy anyway. But the way it was portrayed in the movie was so bad, and yeah, it was so weird. Like, he followed her because she would not tell him his name, and and it's weird to see Matt
creepy.
And it's weird to see this kind of Matt Murdock, because yes, Matt Murdock in the comic books has always been kind of a womanizer, but he's slick about it. He's not creepy. Not like him and Foggy playing this game of like, look at that girl, I smell her. Let me go hit on her. Like, he's done this 100 times. Like, oh man. And then the fight scene at the park. Like, I don't know what angle they were playing at. Like, it was so hokey, and Ben Affleck's face the entire time as they're doing flips, and she's like, "Oh, this dude is obviously blind." What?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
I don't know.
That was some weird. That was just a weird scene to put in there.
It was weird. Well, and I'm not a fan of the whole rain thing, and
I'm not a fan of the way that they portrayed his power. I don't even understand his powers in the movie.
Yeah, I don't like how they portrayed his powers either.
Because it wasn't clear, right? Like, all they needed to add was, yes, I completely understand. You only have an hour and a half or whatever. You cannot introduce ninjas or stick to train you. But,
yeah, but they could have. Okay,
no. But they could have. What they could have done is just said, "Oh, and I was able to gain these extra abilities, like I'm an acrobatic now." But you didn't get that. Instead, you have this kid that's like working out, like doing handstands and beating up the bullies.
See, that's what. Okay,
so it's kind of confusing.
That's what I hated about. This movie did a lot of the whole "will you show, don't tell." They set up the first 20 minutes of a narration of him talking about his powers, and it would have been far more effective. Instead of getting 20 minutes of flashback in the beginning, maybe interspersing some flashback throughout as we see Matt Murdock start off just becoming Daredevil. Because I don't even know, has he already been established? Because when he fights like Quesada in the beginning to go serve him justice, no one seems to know who he is. But then he fights someone else later on in the film, like, well, it's not your neighborhood anymore. Has it ever been his neighborhood? Because I didn't know, where are we at in Matt Murdock's journey? Is he in the middle of being Daredevil? I mean, clearly he has the whole suit. He has an isolation chamber that probably costs way more money than this Matt Murdock could afford. He's an isolation chamber that Iron Man would have. So how the hell did he get that money?
And you brought up something else that I forgot about that I had a big issue with.
Okay.
Does he kill or does he not kill?
I don't know either. Where are his moral lines?
He's totally fried. What's his name? The dude that was Joe Quesada in the movie.
Totally
right? Like, okay, if you're gonna be that kind of character, why the hell didn't he kill Kingpin at the end?
Yeah.
Instead of letting him live, and he's like, "I'm not the bad guy." What?
Because it's like kid. Because like one kid. I mean, again, where did the story take place? If we had changed up the narration and actually saw him. Like, and I guess that would be the Netflix show where you actually see him become, like, till he gets, it would have been far more effective. Even because at 2003, because in 2003, we haven't seen that many origin stories yet. I mean, we only have seen a couple of Spider-Mans at this point. No, Spider-Man 2 didn't even come out in 2004. So we haven't only seen one Spider-Man. So it was like, we had no superhero fatigue on origin stories. We could have seen a better origin story. I just don't understand why. We had so much of that young kid, and the narration, he's not a good narrator. Ben Affleck is not a good narrator. He's no Morgan Freeman.
It starts off with him like
no voiceovers. Please no more.
That hokey line about, like, they say that your life flashes before your eyes before you die, even for the blind.
But
I
everything, you know,
I I think one of the biggest issues that I had with this movie was, yes, there was a confusion about what powers he exactly had, whether, is he the kind of character that's like the Punisher that kills bad guys, or is he the kind of character that is like, no, I got to be better than these
yeah.
villains.
Whereas, yeah.
There was something else that you mentioned on your rant, and I completely
Sorry,
forgot about. No,
I
that's okay. It's
know.
okay. That's I kind of know where this episode's going now. Oh, it going into this movie, I thought, look, Frank Miller literally wrote the script for the first Daredevil movie. That's what Daredevil: The Man Without Fear, the 5-issue miniseries, was supposed to be. The unfilmed Daredevil movie. All they had to do was borrow elements from that instead of, God knows, I don't know what they did with this movie. I think this movie felt to me like it was somebody that was filming music videos for MTV, trying to speak to that generation,
Oh,
and
100%.
casting these famous actors at the time. Colin Farrell, I don't think he gave a shit about his performance. He was so over the top. It was almost laughable, but there's not
Oh,
enough of that.
no, the scene where he hits him, when he hits Mr. Nachos with the bully stick, and he goes, ah, bullseye, points at his head. I was like, yeah, I got it. Your name is Bullseye, and so we're all gonna call you that for the rest of the movie.
Well, he keeps pointing at his bullseye, and I was like,
Bullseye.
yeah,
I got it.
Oh,
and then he said he wanted a costume, and I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
And I felt
it's
like
not like tongue in cheek humor like we see the jokey stuff that, like, they do in the MCU, right? It's not the jokey, like, so him saying I want a costume, I was like, okay. I didn't even get a costume.
and they literally it feels like they had just finished watching Spider-Man. So there's that scene that is literally copy and paste where he's taking the shattered glass and he's throwing it at Daredevil,
Yep.
and he's jumping just like in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man,
And when he does
dodging the goblin's pumpkins. He's dodging those things. Man, what? Like, I really, here's the sad part. I know this broke Ben Affleck's heart, because this is one of his favorite characters.
Yeah.
And I think he was probably the only actor in that movie set that took it seriously.
He was.
And went a little overboard, because everybody else, like Colin Farrell, was just having fun. I thought, Jennifer Gardner, sure, she's like, what the hell is Elektra? I don't even know. But it's interesting to watch this movie, because this is a movie that came out, like you said, in 2003, right? And somebody mentioned this is the same year that X-Men 2 came out, which is one of my favorite movies.
Uh-huh.
But it's also the era before 2008, which introduces to the MCU. And say what you will about the MCU,
Hulk came out in 2003 too, with Eric Bana.
The Ang Lee one, right?
Yeah, the Ang Lee one, yeah.
But even the lowest rated Hulk movies, the lowest rated MCU movies, at least had saving graces, or at least there were things about it that you could watch and still enjoy. With this, I really am struggling with what I liked. Maybe the fighting choreography, and that was probably it. Because like, even enjoying Colin Farrell's over the top acting, it just wasn't enough, because most of the time it's really the story of this shitty romance between Daredevil and Elektra,
which is not exactly a fully formed relationship. It's kind of creepy and ends too soon. So what was the point of even introducing it at all?
I don't know. Woo.
Yes. I'm trying to look at my notes to see if I've had...
Dark World is good, you haters.
Hey, Matthew.
No, but
I wanted to review that because I would have agreed with you more than Omar.
I think Incredible Hulk was better, but that's just my opinion.
I would have rather watched Incredible Hulk than this.
Bullseye being introduced with House of Pain as the backtrack.
Okay, can we talk about... There's a time and place. The way they placed the music in this was so discomforting.
Remember what I said? It felt like I was watching somebody that was doing videos.
Like, when they just bring me to life, and it's her, and all of a sudden she's having her training sequence. I was like, oh god. Oh my goodness, what on earth am I watching
All right,
right now?
here's the question though. Would 2003 Amanda would have been like, "Oh my God, that's my song! Hell yes! I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow and I'm gonna get a body like Electra."
Mm,
See,
no,
that's
I
the
didn't go to
audience.
the gym
That's
in 2003. I was like 17, so I was like doing soccer and stuff, and I
all
really
right. Don't age yourself. But anyway, my point was maybe that's the audience they were going for.
it
Like,
must have been. I mean, because I'm sure it played heavily on TRL at the time, and I bet I watched it. I bet I watched all of them be on TRL. I bet I watched that Bring Me to Life video like on TRL. But then 2004 happened and Spider-Man 2 came out, and all is good in the world because that
so
is
look,
a darn near perfect film.
nothing could be more badass than Daredevil beating ass to Nickelback. Apparently, Nickelback didn't have a song in this movie, according to Amanda.
No, I guess they did. I didn't check the soundtrack because
See what I mean? Even the
yes,
my least favorite movie, at least it had some good things about it.
yes. I mean, I could, and I laughed a little bit when Darcy's like Mew Mew as the as
Okay, that was one of the bad things about that movie, but at least
I like
even my least favorite Marvel movie.
TRL Total Request Live. You know what that is, right, Matthew? Total Request Live. It was on MTV, Carson Daly,
Don't do this.
Top
What are you
10
doing? What are you
videos.
doing? What are you doing? Stay on topic. Stay on
I
topic.
know, but man,
Um. So at this moment, is there
yes.
anything else? You look at your notes
I'm looking
before.
at my notes because I wrote a
Before.
lot of stuff down, guys. I had a lot to say.
Oh, Freddie said something. Did it end? We had that necklace. Yeah, that set up Electra.
Yes, it set up Electra that she was still alive, I guess. Let's see. I think Chris Farrell. I think that Colin Farrell is the Chris Angel of assassins in this movie with his coat twirling and everything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Revenge won't make the pain go away, but that's exactly what he's doing, so it made no sense that he used that.
Let's talk about. Thank you, my man. Let's talk about the CGI, which we haven't even talked about. Omar, where are your notes? You've seen my videos, Lionheart. My notes are here.
I have to answer Matthew. Matthew, TRL was on from the like mid late 90s to about, I think it ended around 2010, somewhere in the 2010s. But I stopped watching it once I got to college and didn't need TRL to tell me what good music to watch anymore. And music videos kind of became a thing of the past.
Yeah, they became movies like this and Charlie's Angels. Okay, so exactly. Let's talk about the CGI because that's one thing we haven't talked about.
Clark Nato needs to tell me why. Why is Meredith Grey in this movie? I don't know why Ellen Pompeo's in this movie. I do not like her as a Karen Page, but for a sweet, cute little secretary, I guess she fit the bill at the time. Because
Karen.
Yeah, this is before,
and I think she's only
in the, until 2005, or 2006. So this is before her time at Seattle Gray. So
what the hell did you just say? Anyway, I think, and that was mainly on the director's cut too. I don't remember that being in the movie.
No,
it was. I've only seen it one time.
There's where she's the one. Yes, because in the scene she shows Foggy to turn this note around that Matt wrote that looks like it says 86 MOM, but she's like, maybe you're looking at it wrong. She turns it and it's WOW, which is Welch, Wesley Welch, which is Kingpin's right-hand man, and then it says 8-9, which is the day of the murder. So that's her part in it, but I think it is only part of the director's cut. Are you looking at me like you didn't see that scene, Omar? Because it was the director's cut you gave me.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, I remember now. The CGI in this movie was pretty shit-tacular. From the beginning where he, I thought this movie was going to actually kick ass with that first shot of him over the cross. It's a very iconic image of Daredevil, much like you see in Frank Miller's run or Guardian Angel or Guardian Devil. Sorry, Guardian Devil. Mm-hmm. But that moment when he leaps off and turns into CGI Ben Affleck, doing all these ridiculous flips, he's not Spider-Man, and I feel like that's what they were going for.
Oh yeah, especially that ending
looks so bad.
They have the thing, the whatever that thing's called. I can't think of it. I'm terrible at naming conventions, so you tell me what that is.
Backflips?
The grappling hook as it comes up in the air.
Oh,
and the
like,
stuff,
what are you talking about?
the string from the grappling hooks, it looks very Spider-Man-esque. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I meant.
like his spider webbing.
Yeah, which makes sense if it was Spider-Man.
You know, there were very little practical effects. It looks like a lot of it was shot in a green screen. The weird sonar thing, I still don't understand that, but CGI was just not that good.
No, it was not.
Yes, that is the guy from Seven that had the adapter on his member that killed the prostitute. You are correct. But how did it look in 2003? Horrible. I remember that being an issue that I had even in 2003.
I remember seeing Spider-Man, and even I decided to watch Spider-Man 2 right after because it came out in 2004, and how impressed I was with the CGI and the effects of that movie, and I thought they could have done better.
Well, yeah, mainly because of that, and this was taking place at nighttime, so you could have cut a lot of corners when you're doing CGI special effects at night. But
think about it, Lord of the Rings came out between 2000.
Oh, y'all got her started with Lord of the Rings
and
again.
That CGI friggin' holds up. So there is a way you can make CGI work in 2003, guys. It's not impossible because Lord of the Rings did it, and I know Weta are geniuses in light and sound, industrial light and sound magic. But I'm just telling you,
Weta ain't around anymore. Mortal Kombat. No, Clarknado. Do you not remember Reptile in that movie? That was bad. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. My wife loves the movie, but no, the CGI was pretty bad.
MTV is still around, Matthew, but they don't do a lot. Yeah,
I stopped MTV still
around 2004 when they started going more reality TV shows and less music videos. That's all I cared about, and they stopped doing all the music video stuff. So
I don't even know what they do anymore.
I don't know what they do either. They even had scripted shows for a while, because the guy who's on
Hanky Pym, my man, I 100% agree with that.
They did. Those people made a lot of money at the time. Those artists, they could have got a lot of money for them.
Yep. Teen Mom 2 over TR.
No, Teen Mom 2. I hated those shows. I said, I don't know if this. You think this is doing one? I don't know.
What are you doing? What are we talking about? I've only seen one.
I was not a fan of Teen Moms, and
it had nothing to do with MTV. I think she just wanted to cross into the adult industry. So that was the only one I've seen, and I didn't see the whole thing. Just the public accounting.
Yeah, Matt. Simpson, I cannot imagine if they did a crossover with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Well, they weren't owned by the same company at the time.
No, they weren't.
Fox, right?
Century Fox, and the other one was Sony. Yes, they weren't even. Yeah, so it would have been hard to do at the time, but I definitely would like to see Charlie Cox back defending Spider-Man in the next Spider-Man movie, if that's a possibility.
All right, there she goes, fan faking. That didn't take long.
Oh, I've already fan faked that whole thing. I mean, it's been written.
Of course, yeah. Of course. Oh,
I heard that whole thing already.
All right. So, Amanda and everyone in the chat, and if you're not watching this live, you are more than welcome to comment. Out of 10, what would you give Daredevil 2003? Out of 10.
I would give it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Everybody in the chat, please let us know.
Please, let's see what you would give it.
I'm going to give this movie a 1.5. I hated this movie. I hated this movie. And I was really trying to see All
right, Craig gave it 8.25. I need to see Craig Carter's his viewpoint on that. I'm interested. Havoc gave it a -4.
I mean, and the 1.5 is basically because you put a group of people and they were able to come together to make a movie. Yeah. So, who would you have casted? This is a good question.
2003 actors. Let's
Michael Biehn. I just love Michael Biehn. I put him in anything. I'm sure he was too old by then. 2003, Bradley Cooper. Was he was
young? No, he didn't really.
He's as old as what's his name, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, but he could have done it, but he was kind of in a lot of more comedic roles back then.
Was he? I just remember his role in
Wedding
what's it
Crashers,
called?
and that's what he was the main antagonist in Wedding Crashers, and that was
He was
2006. So
he was on Alias with Jennifer Gardner. So I
yes, he
thought
was. So you
that
thought
would
maybe
have been
that'd be a good one.
Freddie Prinze Jr., who wanted to play Spider-Man really bad. Matt Simpson also says that.
Freddie Prinze Jr. could have been a good. I mean, he's not the
My man
best
using negative numbers.
actor.
So bad, made me not like the character anymore. Steve
Now, but
Buscemi.
Silent Agent, have you watched the Netflix series that changed your mind?
Yes. The Netflix series is phenomenal. Bradley Cooper was on Alias with Jennifer Garner at the time. Yep, that's what I thought. Liam Neeson. I'm trying to think.
He was younger at
2004.
the
Yeah.
time. Wait, 2003 was no, he was still older. I'm
No,
thinking
no,
about
he was. That was after episode 1. I'm gonna. Yeah,
Love, actually.
I'm gonna stick with Bradley Cooper. What about you, Freddie Prinze Jr.? That's a good. Whoa.
I'm trying to think of my 2003.
I'm sure you had a bunch of boys hanging up on in your room, like
No.
posters.
See, Justin Timberlake was it for me at 2003, or Elijah Wood because of
Yeah, neither one of those dudes.
No, neither one of them would have played good.
My man, I enjoyed both this and Elektra. Happy to have relatively big budget comic movies. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
It's crazy that we have so many that we actually, and then not only that, but then we got a TV series too. Will Ferrell, the way the movie turned out. No.
I think of young actors who would have been really good.
I was thinking like Keanu Reeves was in The Matrix during this time, and even the CGI in that was a little bit rude.
I mean,
no, not real boys, like boys' pictures, like she still does. I'm sure.
No, I do not.
Tom Holland's back there somewhere. Ed Norton as Daredevil. Oh, he would have killed it. Jake Gyllenhaal. Maybe Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, he would have done the role justice. He would have been a young. He would have been a young.
He would have been as young as Tobey Maguire doing Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean,
they were both 28 at the time. Or actually, no, he was 32 at the time.
Oh, then he could have been believable as a young lawyer, and that would have been better for an origin story. Ooh, Matt Damon.
How did
the other one?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I remember, like, out of the two duo, from no, God, I almost said What's Eating Gilbert Grape, but
what was Matt Damon doing in 2003? I feel like he was on the fast track, right?
No, Ben Affleck was the one that blew up for some reason. Out of the two, for some reason, I thought he was the worst.
No, but
Matt Damon was doing more
Oscar stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He was doing more artsy stuff.
So I wouldn't see him be a Daredevil because of that. Because at the time, no one would ever consider a superhero movie to be of that caliber. Not until we've gotten into our modern age.
Matt Damon was doing cocaine in 2003. When did the Bourne movie start? Yeah, Jesse's saying.
I was trying to think. Bourne, 2003. I'm looking at his stuff. He was on Stuck on You, which is not a good. The Bourne did was 2002.
And I think Gregory Peck was dead in 2003. But I love him as Atticus Finch.
Philip said Will Ferrell because at least it's a comedy.
Yeah, and then they had his cousin Colin Farrell in there.
Yeah, I mean, they don't, because I was thinking you don't want him to.
No, he was 28 when the first Spider-Man movie came out. So that was 2000, but filmed in 99.
So Jake Gyllenhaal.
So around this time, it was
Jake Gyllenhaal because he's just a good actor and he could have made the role his own.
Patrick Swayze. That guy, I loved him.
Was there any British actors we haven't thought of that came out in 2003?
This is before the big British explosion.
I know, and then you could thank Lord of the Rings probably for that. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Or Harry Potter.
Yes. The comment of the evening. That guy knows how to push your buttons.
He does know how to push my buttons. And that movie, Chris Evans, well, he was still doing Fantastic Four at the time, so 20th Century Fox already had him kind of for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis, because he'd have gone over more method and would be fighting blind.
Would Leo have done it? Or is he still trying to be Oscar worthy at this time?
No, I don't think Leo would have even looked at a superhero movie, honestly.
I wonder who they were trying to win.
I love that song, dude. I love Patrick Swayze's song. I can't wait to see the dragon in Mulan. It's not gonna happen, Philip. We've been over that. Yeah, not another teen movie. Because I can't remember. Fantastic Four was after this. So was it 2005?
So I had to look it up because I was interested. They actually had looked at Vin Diesel to play play Daredevil, but he passed because he had to do another movie.
Yeah, you had to do fast, too fast,
Fast,
too furious.
too
I don't know.
furious.
Why do you think they don't mention or
They
bring up?
also considered Colin Farrell to actually play it. Oh, and Matt Damon was revealed to be offered the role, but
He turned it down to do the talented Mr. Ripley
he
was
didn't
before
believe in
this.
the script or the director at the time. But
Well,
apparently Affleck did.
he should have told his friend.
He
That was a bad friend.
He was a bad friend.
I think Stick was in the Elektra movie, if I recall. I've only seen that once too, and we may have to see it again.
Bring that up. How do you learn all those martial arts? Again, that's why.
That's part of the mutation of his power. We went over that. Remember?
That's why they should have gotten. I think I was dumb with the kid scene and everything like that. We didn't need it. I would have much rather seen an origin story where he becomes Daredevil instead of
early 2000s,
was
90s.
Yes, and early 2000s was a crazy time. Sean that was a very crazy time.
Yeah, it was.
I was about to be like graduating from high school, and
I was about to get a
colleges,
divorce and
I was still
start my life over.
Anyways.
I feel like your little story of being a little chubby back then just overrule me getting a divorce. But hey, yeah, whatever.
That's right.
We all went through struggles.
Divorce, it was a big deal.
Let's see. Just remember, if it wasn't for Daredevil, we would not have TMNT. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? I was still thinking about the movie. Yes. Frank Miller was a big inspiration to Eastman and Laird. I thought you meant the movie. I'm like, wait, did they? No, that was what's his face? Oh, Backstreet. They were more talented.
Oh, I was answering them here. NSYNC. No. I've seen them 3 times in concert. All 3 of their concerts for all 3 of their releases.
You also like Nickelback.
Timberlake about 5 times in concert. I like NSYNC better. That helps me.
It doesn't mean they're better. Man, Bring Me to Life.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, Bring Me to Life, man. Well, I mean, what a song. To be fair, that
was it a bad movie? Hell no, it's really entertaining to watch. That's awesome.
To be fair, it did keep my entertainment, so I could it kept me engaged enough to write all of my notes. Because I was like, man, I gotta write that down. Oh man, I gotta write that down. Like none of the other movies made me that way. So he says something.
And by far, this is your favorite soundtrack out of any superhero movie. Because this is the soundtrack to 17-year-old Amanda. What was better than this?
2004 Spider-Man 2 soundtrack is my soundtrack. Oh my god, I listened to that on the way home and
Which one's wrong with Hero and Macy Grace?
Not Hero was on the first soundtrack. I'm talking about Dashboard Confessionals.
Oh, great question. Christina Aguilera had a better voice.
That voice is by far amazing. My sister, who's only 18 months younger than me, Britney Spears. When we were growing up, guys, true fact, my sister and I used to take my mother's camcorder, and we made music videos to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera videos or songs. And I was the director, and sometimes I had to play the love interest because my sister had to be Britney Spears. And we are like psychic because we made a Lucky video that was pretty much just like Britney Spears' Lucky video before she made it. And it was exactly what we had thought. It was awesome.
Oh, we're just 2 soothsayers.
So, you know what, Jack? I want to see it too because my mom can't seem to find any of those. She has my stupid choir concerts, my graduation, but I can't find the videotapes of me and my sister doing these videos.
Omar, get these videos.
It was phenomenal. My sister's friend Andrew was in them. It was great. We were like, yeah. My sister learned the whole chair dance for Britney Spears' Stronger. So we recorded that on the camcorder. So
It sounds like a nightmare. These things sound like a masterpiece. Downloadable content for Patreon. Yeah,
Content for Patreon.
that's Patreon content.
Yes, my sister and I prefer Rectangulair's music. Britney Spears is good to dance to, but I prefer Rectangulair. Keanu Reeves.
We talked about that, yeah.
He would have been. I mean, but I think he was doing Matrix at the time, so.
Yeah, it was. I think this is right after Matrix Revolution.
I'm trying to think of a.
Yeah, fresh off the Matrix trilogy.
We have, Craig Carter. We have gone very off topic.
Which we always do.
We always do, because it is 8:55 and we are at the end of our show.
So next week, do you all want us to review? Do you want me to put the lowest rated DC Universe movies on there, or just keep
these would be from the DCEU, right? Not just generally DC, but DCEU movies.
I don't know the damn difference. What the DCE? What's the difference?
I would think that anything made from Henry Cavill's Superman onward would be considered part of the DCEU.
Okay. Oh no, not Batman, not the Nolan trilogy.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if.
Are you looking at your notes again?
No, but I don't know if they're considered part of the DCEU. Even if they were, would they really be on our list? So why would we even include them?
That was a big rumor about
I think he was
James Cameron. Yeah, during the years
James Cameron was going to do a Spider-Man. Yeah, but then obviously
that's all the DC. We'll go with the lowest rated 3. Yeah, I don't even know what they are. I'm so excited
because I have stories to tell for seeing. Did I see Suicide Squad with you?
Mm-hmm.
No, did I? Okay.
I don't know.
Did we see it together?
I saw Superman and Batman with you.
Were we still? Was I living in Kentucky yet? Okay.
Hope you're doing well. Sorry I've happened upon this late. What's up, Peter?
Peter, never too late, man. You're here because you get to the best part of the night where we will.
I'm gonna put up a poll just put.
You know what, Lionheart?
Catwoman on the
Catwoman on for like several weeks now, and I vote, and every time I go on there on my personal account and vote for it, and it still doesn't make it because I've never seen it, guys. So I just know it's bad because everyone else tells me it's bad, and I've seen some scenes. But
it's pretty shit-tacular. That's a pretty bad movie.
Yes.
It's funny though. Like when I put it on there, I expected to win, but other movies get voted over it. See, I like that movie. I love the Batman 66 movie. I think it's great and so hokey and just that's
we should pick like movies made in the early 90s to or beyond or earlier. Like we haven't done any of those. We haven't really put a lot of those up except you keep bringing up Superman 4, which no one ever votes on either.
The Quest for Peace is he's such a crappy movie, but see. Okay, so the problem with Man Thing is that it was a direct to DVD release or VHS wherever it came out in. So it wasn't like a theatrical movie, right? And just like we're not gonna do the Corbin Fantastic Four because it's not really fair. Those movies have lower budgets, so they're expected to be more crappy. Would you watch Dark Phoenix or Justice League? Oh, Justice League, 100%. I don't have the problems that a lot of people do.
I mean, it was enjoyable. Yeah.
Peter, Omar, I was just watching your top 20 best artists video. Loved it. Thank you so much, man. I'll be doing the second part of that probably sometime later this week, probably Friday if I can get to. They canceled Justice League Mortal to start the DC universe. Man, it's I don't know. That movie had a lot of issues. Matthew McConaughey for Daredevil.
All right.
You know that dude.
He was into romantic comedies at the time. He was doing.
And I'm glad he got out of them.
Because The Wedding Proposal with J-Lo. I mean, he was.
No, that was The Wedding Planner. What the hell?
Wedding Planner. Sorry, you know what I meant.
Off yourself. Get off my show. How dare you get that movie mixed up?
There is no such thing as A Wedding Proposal. It's not a movie.
I don't even understand what the hell you just said. You're at that point of drinking. So for next week I'll put the lowest rated DCEU movies.
Yes. Peter, I don't think the DCEU for this purposes would include the animated movies.
Oh God, no.
No,
most of those are a lot better than the live action movies.
When I was subscribed to DC Universe, which I did stop my subscription because once I finished Doom Patrol and
Shut it, Freddie. Shut up.
Then
Not you,
I
Freddie.
just dropped it, but I watched a lot of the animated movies because of that, and a lot of them are fantastic. Who will win? Oh, Ben Affleck's Batman, classy Ulysses, over Ben Affleck's. The guy's like a tongue twister.
No, that's just the wine. Ben Affleck's Batman's a badass.
You know what? I'm thinking about Freddie's comment. We should do like a rom-com discussion.
This was the rom-com.
Just to see how well Omar knows his rom-coms. We should have an episode where I quiz him on popular rom-coms from the 2000s.
How is that an episode?
No, I do not like these. Let's not get it twisted. I don't like Geely. I have some standards, guys. I have some standards. Not a lot, but some of them do exist.
That movie was cursed, and the curse went on. I mean, Ben Affleck was never the same after that. He did Jersey Girl.
Awesome. Yeah.
Ben's Fat Batman versus Skinny DD. I vote for Flocky. Rick Nelson, rom-com. Romantic comedies.
Rom-coms.
Love Drunk Amanda's bitches. They're just random. I'll watch it. Thank you.
Hey, they said they watch a rom-com episode. I mean,
one person does not mean they will watch it.
We could do a whole episode on the best.
Sense of a Woman. Sense of a Woman is before that, though, right?
Yeah. No, I'm
talking about. Al Pacino wasn't the same after Geely. Was he in there?
Was he in that movie?
I've never seen Geely, so I don't know.
Bride
Man,
Lord.
that's the best. Omar's the worst part of this street because he takes down. My notes live up here, brother. That's where my notes
does. I try to give us form and function on this episode.
And then you drank 2 glasses of wine. So how is that my fault?
Yeah, Joy wants to know how we met. We met at Omar's wedding.
Yep.
Which had a contact.
It was my wedding planner.
I was her wedding planner. It's a typical
wait a minute. That's the plot to the wedding plan. I'm sorry, the wedding. What did you call it? The wedding what?
The wedding proposal.
Wedding proposal. I'll watch a rom-com. Watching.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, we've got a whole new thing to watch now. This is exciting. I'm super stoked about this, guys. This is not about comics at all.
But the good news is that we're never going to run out of bad superhero movies.
You're right.
Because I will go back to the 60s and 70s if I have to.
Yes. Yes. How we meet? I was at Omar's wedding. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, took me to Omar's wedding. We had only been dating for 3 months. He's like, "Do you want to come to my cousin's wedding with me?" And I was like, "Sure." And we were long distance relationships at the time. I was still living in Pennsylvania and he was here in Kentucky. And so I flew to Kentucky to be at Omar's wedding. And everyone at the wedding kept saying, "You know who you look like? You look like Rose Tyler. Do you know who that is?" I did not, because I did not watch Doctor Who at the time.
Not everyone. No. It was like 2 people.
No, it was like most of your friends. Rob.
My friends are dorks.
And Ben, your Tommy, Manuel.
I don't think I said that.
So that's how I met Omar.
And that's how we met.
And then, they all loved me more than they loved their own cousin. And that's
okay, wait. That's the wine talking again. Fool's Gold is Matthew McConaughey's. I loved him in Mud. Mud was one of my favorite McConaughey
movies. Set in Arkansas, and that is very much how the Delta is. If anyone has ever lived in Arkansas, which I have.
If I go back to the 60s, pick me up a copy of Amazing. How about Amazing Fantasy 15 instead? Would you take that? Are you guys going to get HBO Max? Are we, Amanda?
Oh, I am.
Then I am too.
Yeah, because he'll just steal my password.
I'm not going to steal you. I'll ask for it.
Why? Because obviously the content in their library is going to be something I would, watch. Things I would watch and binge and things like that. Just watch for the hell of it. But of course, I'm expecting some good content, original content from them. And this is not just because of the Friends reunion. Wait, can I talk about what Omar's brother Tommy, who's staying with me right now, what he bought me, I guess as a gift? Because this is phenomenal. Look at this, guys. I'm doing this weekend.
Jesus
Can you see what this is?
Yes.
It's a Friends Lego set.
Is that the central perk?
Yeah, it is. It even has
Gus?
Gardner. No, Gus.
I don't know his name. Bloodsport or kickboxer because spinned off to like 5 different sequels that didn't even have Van Damme in it.
Someone earlier asked us what our 5 favorite movies were. They don't have to be superheroes.
Oh, Rick Nelson. Rick Nelson's asking, name your 5 favorite films.
That's funny that he mentions that, because yesterday on Twitter, the trending topic was 5 perfect movies. I think it was Brian Williams, no, it wasn't Brian Williams. It was Jake Tapper from CNN had listed off his 5 perfect movies, and so then
you lost me at Twitter. I don't know what the hell trending is.
So I was thinking about that, like the 5 perfect movies, like, best, like, has an excellent director, good screenplay, cast and crew, the whole 9 yards. So I was thinking about that, and a few come to mind that I was thinking of, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a fantastic film. I see very few flaws in it. Shaun of the Dead is a great film. I think would be considered a perfect film as well.
I think they're asking what your personal ones are.
Oh, I know, but I was thinking but these are the films I also think are favorite film. I mean, favorite films. Are you talking about?
I think there's a difference, right? Like, I have a lot of favorite films that I know are not perfect, but they're still my favorite films. And then there's films that I appreciate because they are.
3 of them are taken up by Lord of the Rings, so I only get 2 left.
No, Lord of the Rings counts as 1.
Okay, Lord of the Rings counts as 1.
If you can binge watch Lord of the Rings in one day.
The Keira Knightley version is one of my favorite movies.
Sorry, guys, I had to kick her off the stream after saying Pride and Prejudice, because that's just ridiculous. No, I'm kidding. Hey, you're back.
Yes.
I kicked you off because you said Pride and Prejudice, and
I was going to say Silver Linings Playbook is another movie that's a favorite of mine. I actually just rewatched that the other day.
With Bradley Cooper?
Yes, with Bradley Cooper. Him and Jennifer Lawrence.
He would have been a good Daredevil.
That movie works. Everything about that, even Robert De Niro as his father, everything works in that.
I really don't remember that.
Oh, really? I love that movie. It's great.
See, for me, I'm not even going to go for, like, literally Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings. Like, movies like that are the ones that I love. I love, and it's got a lot of flaws.
I love Hitch.
Perfect World with Kevin Costner. I love that movie, The Untouchables. I'm a big I have a man crush on Kevin Costner. That's why I love Field of Dreams.
What other movies?
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like, there's a lot of movies that I like. I have a top 10 list. Oh, man, I love A Bronx Tale. I was like, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I realize it has some flaws, but still one of my favorite movies. Made it so close to getting banned again.
Oh, whatever.
Me and Amanda would be good friends. We both like Lord of the Rings. Yes. But she also likes Disney remakes.
No. Okay. Slow your roll. Did I say I liked the Lion King remake? No.
Did you see it?
Yes.
In movie theaters.
And even my daughter was born. She's 4.
Okay.
Yes, I do want to get some nice Lord of the Rings book sets, because my set is kind of old. My mom did give me these, but oh God, hold on, I'm leaving.
All right, we lost her. So now we can talk about superhero movies again. Jack Black as Gandalf. What did you get?
I had to leave. Okay, so I have these.
Amanda, are you Frodo or are you Sam? I feel like
I'm Sam.
I'm Frodo.
Did I show you guys? We did a Halloween special. I don't know if I showed the picture. So when I was 18, my friend Erica and I did Frodo and Sam as our Halloween costumes. I was Sam because I was blonde, and she was Frodo, and it was fantastic. We glued hair on our feet. We even got the capes. We got the pins, the Lothlorien leaf pins. We went to Goodwill and found little vests to put. The whole 9 yards. But anyway, so these are my mom's copies of Lord of the Rings that I guess came out, I don't know, back when my mom was still Deanna Ulrich. She's had 3 last names since then, so it's been a minute.
Omar, get a hold of you. Have you met her? I can't get a control of that woman.
I'm still missing. For some reason, I don't have Return of the King, and it's broken. I feel so terrible about that. But these are my mom's that she gave to me because Lord of the Rings means a lot to me. Anyways, there is the master right there. Anyways.
I thought you meant the master from Doctor Who.
I'm so sorry.
Which house was Frodo sorted into? Ravenclaw. He's a Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. Sam's
Why
a
did I know that? There's
Sam is 100% a Hufflepuff.
GOT leather cloth book set
Yes,
edition.
I'm gonna
Oh
get
wow. I've got the all-in-one, the big tome. Like it's huge. It's wonderful. Man, I have the 25th edition. It's the gold one of the lore of the Hobbit, which I love that book. I must have read it like 100 times. Or call milk is going wild.
Hey, Michael, if you want me to read, we can start with The Hobbit. It's my favorite. In a hole there lived a hobbit. I think that's exactly how it starts, right?
That's how most porn start too. All right.
How this book
Now,
starts. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. See?
Yes.
I was right.
Everyone knows how that damn book starts.
Not everyone.
Now, I will put up a poll probably on Sunday evening.
Yes.
And so you all vote for it. Let us know what you want to watch. As far as, we'll leave it DCU this time, and then
we'll go back to just general.
Next general Catwoman. Maybe Catwoman will win. All right. So thank you all for watching. Amanda, why don't you sign us off?
Yes. Okay. Sorry for my rant, guys, but thank you so much for watching this episode.
Hit that like button. Were you going to say that?
Was it really that bad? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at @NearMintCon. Remember to check out our Patreon if you want to see me and my sister dance to Britney Spears from when we were like 10. Make sure you sign up for that Patreon account. Also, Redbubble, we have some excellent merchandise if you want to support Near Mint Condition that way as well. And remember, everyone, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Have a great evening. We'll speak to you all soon. And keep watching those bad superhero movies, guys.
All right, everybody stay healthy and safe out there.
Have a good night.